right.
Hi, big guy.
Right on that rail, right there where Gabby is.
Like here?
Other way. Like that. No, yours. Yep. Perfect, thank you.
Good luck.
You want me to use this or not?
We're used to it.
Oh.
Yeah. And it'll save your voice. You don't want me to have to save your voice. Sweet.
Hey, let's have you just warm up like you're doing right now, just for a little bit, just to get everybody on the same page, and then we'll line up and talk for a little bit. Just take some time on the rail, warm up, do what you need to do to reconnect your brain to your horse's brain and all that.
So move him into the middle and stand, okay?
Are you the camera person?
I am.
Okay.
Face A. You'll see it right there.
Okay.
Watch the pressure, you're walk through it.
We'll do that. I'm going to do that all here in a minute. When we get, we'll line everybody up. I just want you to get a little bit of your juices going so you're not freezing and. Okay, everybody feeling pretty good about this? Today is going to be a big give and take day. I want to add as much value to your experience today as I possibly can. That means questions, even if you think it's a silly question or not valid, please don't think that. I would like to try to help you with anything you need today. So, all right.
Yeah, if the parents have questions, could they ask?
Absolutely, parents.
Wonderful.
Parents as well. We're just going to have a little spiel first. So, starting here, I want you to line up here and we're going to face the front. We can fit 10 across, so get up as close as you can to the side. So let's have you just all line up here facing the entry so we can have a little chit chat. Be sure to leave room if you have a cranky, non-warning horse. And if there isn't enough room, you can step behind, or if
You
your
guys
horse
can push down a half
doesn't
a
settle.
step. Both ponies step down a half a step, that'll give you another whole stop.
There we go. Get as close as you comfortably can to the rail, and there should be room here. As long as the horses know each other and are compatible
They should
to
all
be
be
close.
fine, yeah.
Okay?
Just
Awesome.
watch their heads, guys, keep them straight.
Yeah, and don't, if you need to, like, back up and circle if you're, this is just so we can talk for a minute, okay? So I'm supposed to introduce myself into the camera. My name is Debbie Caravello. I'm pleased to be here today. I'm here for parents as well as these kids. And adults.
Thank you.
So I'm really happy to be here. I want you, a couple things I want to just talk about real quick that I was thinking about on the way here today of how blessed you all are to be able to spend time with a horse. And then I thought, can you imagine a world without horses? I can't. I cannot imagine a world without horses. And you need to know how in tune they are with you and your overall demeanor. Did you know they can perceive your current emotional state of mind from pretty far away. So if you're agitated and upset and nervous, they know that. So it's helpful for them, for you to be in kind of a really good place when you're near them. So also know that today we'll work on, I want to do what you want to do. So we're gonna talk about, if you want, where are your interests, and what things do you want to work on or ask questions about that you haven't had the opportunity for. You are also very blessed to be here and be under the direction of Jen and her husband Dean are two of the nicest, most knowledgeable people I have ever met. And I don't know how much more I can even add, knowing how much Jen is able to instruct you and teach you. But I'm happy to give you a different perspective, so let's just quick talk about, I know we have a morning and an afternoon session. So here's what I want to know from everybody today. This morning, what were your expectations and what are you thinking? I really want to work harder on this or that, or I'd like to try this or that. So let's just, if you feel like sharing something, just go ahead and share. Because I don't want to say we're going to do showmanship and we're going to, I want to know what you all want and what you feel like you need. Okay, so the comment was that most of you have been on the team for a year-ish, and that you are interested in polishing what you already know. So are we talking about, so right now, are we talking about showmanship, or just anything? Okay. Okay, anybody else down here? By the way, while you're standing around, if you get cold, and you have a parent here that has another jacket for you, just, do what you need to do. It's completely, this is for all of you and your horses, not me, okay? Yes. Oh, so we've got two things going on here. One is to get them to trot during showmanship, and one is to get them to slow down at different points in time. And so those are two pretty common things that a judge sees is either a horse that's just not feeling it today, doesn't want to trot. So there are tips and tricks for that, and I'm sure you've tried many of them. So it's just a matter of working with them, and we'll go over that. So how about anybody else? Anything else? I don't want to leave out the other end of the line here. Anything else? So how many of you are interested in showing in showmanship? Most. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I have the audience point. And in order to do, shows, you're going to get to the smaller show and there's a high point. Or not that's the goal. You have to be showing this. How do you mitigate? I mean, he's 22 years old, he's not going to stop doing this. He's not.
That's tough, and I'm sure you've been given some examples of that. I have a couple of ideas, but so the problem is this horse is kind of nosy and mouthy, and I'll tell you what, I see that a lot, and I prefer to. So let's see. It's very distracting and hard for the exhibitor, especially if that horse is actually trying to fight them. So if it's only a nuisance, you'll have to you'll have to try some types of mitigating things on your own life. When that happens, you could be set up to send him out to work. If he lunges, if he's good at lunging. So sometimes to get them to associate that bad behavior with, she's gonna make him work. It's much like getting in the trailer. If they won't get in the trailer, you can lunge them in a circle around, halfway around the trailer. So to mitigate that, I would get a lunch line and send him out if he's gonna be, and then he'll be so tired he won't wanna even do that. So that's one thing. Okay, so I heard Jen talking to one of you about a chain. Who was that? So I want to talk about chains. If we're going to do all that, do a little bit of showmanship stuff and talk about showmanship. And I'm sorry for having to talk, but that's the only way I can convey my message to you, at least at this point in time. So, about your chain, I trust that you have been discussing it, and Jen has approved the way your chain is on your home. However, having said that, I often, I should say, see in showmanship in particular, even in halter, but keep in mind, and you all know your horses and ponies really well. However, if you by chance tighten that chain, so let's say your horse is the one who doesn't want to trot. The natural tendency is to want to tug on him and get him to trot, right? And if that chain tightens up under your chin, or it's over and over, shoot up. And you put that horse past their pain threshold, they're going to go up and maybe over backwards to get away from that pain. I see it all the time. So be mindful of, if you have a chain that goes under your chin, I don't want to tell you to not do that. But sometimes I don't know that you need it. If your horse is good and doesn't cause you grief, you may not need it. So just think about that, okay? But also know that if your horse isn't going as fast as you want, or isn't trotting when you want, and that chain tightens up, they're going to do anything but trot. They're going to stop, pull back, and it's going to be a wreck waiting to happen. So be mindful of the chain. All right. So for the couple of you, there were a couple of you in here that weren't interested in showmanship. So I do want to do a couple of basics. If you're interested in polishing up basics in showmanship, let me just tell you what one judge looks for in showmanship, okay? Know your pattern. You gotta know your pattern in order to keep score, right? And the biggest category is they want to see that you have worked with your horse enough so that your horse knows what's expected of it. And that requires a lot of grounding. So the biggest thing is to know the pattern. Straight lines are important, but you need to have your horse and pony enough so that, unlike wolves, they have spent a lot of time together. And I'll tell you what, a long time ago I had a judge tell me, it is obvious you have spent hours and hours with this horse. And that was true. I love spending time with my horse. It's good for your soul, right? Am I right? So, all right. So, how many of you struggle to interpret a pattern? Like, somebody tell me what is hard about a showmanship pattern. Somebody tell me a maneuver that's tough. Right. Remember the pattern. Yeah, right? And a pivot. Who said a pivot? Okay. Go ahead. transition spots, and when there are no homes, there has to be some kind of mark. So that's interesting, but, so, we can talk about that a little bit with a couple of poems, so you will have to just interpret the pattern. Like if it says trot halfway between like this door and the end, before you get in there, you are going to have to eyeball yourself a halfway point. So here's another kind of general comment. Set yourself up to succeed by looking at everything ahead of time. Don't stand outside and not watch. Come to the door and watch how the pattern goes and how the arena is set up. Maybe it's real small. If it's small, you gotta really be thinking hard. Okay? Alright, and so remember your pattern. You might have to practice that with your brain and a lot of things are pattern.
So, I think it might be batteries. I'm gonna put this right here. Come on.
I think that'll potentially get one.
Batteries? Would you mind doing that for me?
Are they in there?
Yes, please. Here. I'm gonna just, it's there. I'm glad you were there. I appreciate it.
Hopefully it works.
What's that?
The new ones are in it. Hopefully it'll work.
Oh. So it didn't. Testing.
It is louder, yeah. I think the rain's gonna drown you out anyway.
Alright, we're going to practice. How about you just going along the rail? So, we are going to practice there the transition of the code in a real simple little thing, okay? And so we'll come up one at a time and then we'll continue around the rail. So A, B, and C. So you're going to come around the outside and it's basically when elements. And we just want to practice. Practice this element, use this element. So you have to examine it as a young mind. But remember, it's really better than I do. So it's just a matter of practicing because often the children elements are similar.
What's that?
It might help your brain to the first one and the second one and the third one, and then go back. So as you're trying to remember your pattern, look at it, get it in your head, and then look away and repeat it to yourself. So it's just going to take some time.
You push that a little closer.
That's fine. Better? Oh yeah, she said. So now, all the speakers are in that. Oh yeah, okay. So very good, but now look where you're standing. No, but there's no room for you. So if you come around to the side and beyond, there's no room for you. So folks, look back and reset it with the heavy bonus. So look ahead, she didn't need herself to be on the correct side of the phone, but she was on the other side of the horse because I was over here. So that's a good observation, right? Yes. When you're standing, whatever you're comfortable with. So I know a lot of the tendencies to want to go against the shoulder. Relax. If you push so much in class, take a couple of big deep breaths and have fun. Try not to get roped into, you're not, this isn't, you're there to have fun and work with the course. And I would admit to having gotten roped into the whole competitive thing because I'm very competitive. But after time went by, you become more confident. And so you relax and then your person can go, oh, this is okay. Because once you relax, your whole person, your person or pony senses that. Trust me. Okay, so you do better on that. So now let's have you just go ahead. Okay, I'll get on this side so it feels better. We're just going to do this quick walk or maybe a trot. You will see it and stop and we'll talk about it. Okay. So I don't know if you know your horse kind of died right here. So, okay, so when you are trotting, go at a speed, especially with a bigger horse, you have to go at a speed that your horse can maintain the trot. And that's just like, if they have you trot around the pole, and the horse is on the inside, you're great. Okay, other than that, I'm sorry, you did great except for your horse died, and make sure your horse knows to stop, and make sure you take a couple of steps. So whenever you're ready, I'm going to get on this side so it feels better. Okay. Careful with that chain. Very nice. Okay, so this is a very small area for your parts, and you did it. So very good. So now, I just want you to we're doing this very basic exercise so that you can watch others and see like, oh, they have a tendency to die. You might have to go faster because you have a shorter distance here. And you want to make sure your horse trots. You might have to really get after it and not be windy about going off at a trot. So really get after the trot here because this is short and you want to make it happen, okay? Just basic walk and then trot and stop. Okay. All right. So that wasn't, I think there was a little lag. So I don't think it would take much work. In fact, if it needs so much work from the back to the butt, like a stick. So there was no lag, no dying, no nothing. That was very nice. Be sure you're straight. You see how they're a little off my angle? Here's a little tip about a straight line. When the pattern asks for a straight line, okay, this is just what I used to do, is like look ahead and pick a spot on the wall and go right ahead. Or a spot wherever it is. Because here's another thing. You go where you look. You go where you look. When I took motorcycle first in school, they teach you when you're going around the turn and you're headed for the next turn, where are you looking? It's like barrel racing. Where are you looking when you're around in the first barrel? The second barrel. You will go where you look. So if you want to do a straight line, pick a spot. So this way, and remember, your horse is what's important, so not you. I don't want you to come at me. So when often in a showmanship pattern, you're supposed to come right at the judge. That means your horse gets lined up with the judge. So we do this way, not this way. So pick a spot that's a straight line and go right for it. Okay. There you go. Okay, just a little bit of what I call laziness or something like that. But the line was perfectly straight, and when you stop, make it definitive. And you might have to practice that if they don't want to stop. Work on stopping them, and if they're lagging ahead, take a step back. So they stop. And they're still going. Get after them, make them back up a little bit so they know to stop and stop. Okay. After this, I'm going to have you each trot at me and practice your horses coming at me. Remember, it's showmanship. You're here to show me your horse. So when the pattern shows you coming at me, it's hard and it's easier for you to line yourself up right? It's easy to do. It's harder to think about. I use my hand because your hand is leading your horse. So you line your hand up and go right at the judge with your horse when it calls for it. Okay, go ahead. All right. Very nice. I thought your horse was going to charge into you, but you managed to get a stop on. That was very, very nice. I like the softness of that trot. Really, really good. And anytime anybody has a question, wait a minute, I want to know about this. Raise up your hand so I can see you and we'll talk about it, because everybody may benefit. Okay? Go ahead. All right. Very nice. Very nice. I would say a smidgen past the cone, but just a smidgen. But other than that, very nice. Nice and soft. I like it. Okay, ready? There you go. There you go. A little bit of a kind of a head on the stop. It just takes a couple of times of working on it. When you stop, if your pony goes forward, make them back up a few steps. So think about, how should we stop it? If that continues to happen, the minute you stop, you're back and back up a couple of steps just to engage the other side of the brain. Okay? All right. Very good. Oh, good. Oh, again, I see a lot of just a tiny little bit of overstepping the stop. Here is a hard stop. So and all that is practice. That's all it is just working on when your horse needs to know when you go forward or when you stop, they need to stop also. Okay? All right, I want to do something now that's a little bit different. So let's have you back on the rail. Let's have you, so over here, go back on the rail this way. I'm going to line you up and you're going to practice walking straight at me. Okay, we'll line you up. I just want you to stretch out a little bit. Okay. Thank you. Got it. Okay. We'll move. Okay. Okay. Sure. Yes. What? I do. It's all that thing. I'm good. I'm good right now. So oh, they can stay. They can stay.
You gonna participate?
Yeah, walk. You can ride. You walk from the park, you're under the ride, right? But you're getting on, you're running.
All right, good. I know how it is to stand in one spot for a long period of time. Everybody gets bored and then we start to see some mischievous behavior. Out of the horses, of course. So, okay, again, starting with you, we're going to have you line up right here with your tail on the wall. Tail to the rail, as they say. So start right here, right by the door, before the door. So everybody's going to follow in. If you have to come down a little bit, if you can, to make sure there's enough room. Oh, I apologize, my nose runs all the time when it's cold, so I'll be blowing my nose all day long. Okay. So remember, in a big showmanship class, so showmanship has changed where you're not lined up in the ring much. It's usually show and go. But always be mindful of horses near you. They may not be friendly. Okay? And we don't want anybody getting kicked. All these horses know each other, which is a blessing. But for being in the show ring, it can be different. Okay, real quick, we're going to run this. Here's what I want to emphasize. Straight lines are really important, and they're hard. They are really hard, and they take practice. That's when I use I pick a spot. If you're not coming at the judge, it's easy when you're coming at the judge because you have the judge to focus on. But if you don't have the judge to focus on, that's when I pick a spot and go right at it. And, oh, I have to say this. Now, again, this is just me. I'm one judge. One day, you might have a good day, you might not. In showmanship, when you are performing your pattern, let's say it says to trot away from the judge. Please don't look at me while you're trotting away from me. Please don't look at me, turn and look. Because you need to know where you and your horse are going, not where you've been. And it is dangerous for your eyes to not be looking where you and your horse are going. Now, so, and I think for me, it's reasonable, it's common sense, and it's safety. All three things are valid no matter who you are. Reasonableness, common sense, and safety. So actually, in a class, in a showmanship class, if you're looking at me when you're performing your pattern, okay, I will ding you for it. Because you know where I'm at. And I'm not midstream, I'm not going to say, turn hard left. I'm not going to do that. Nobody's going to do that. And so, plus, when you take your gaze off of where you're going to go like this. Do not look at me or the judge when you're performing your pattern. Because I want your focus on where you're going. If there's a big rock there or a hole, sometimes the arenas are in poor shape, so but you gotta have one eye going in both directions, theoretically. So what I mean by that is, when you are set up and the judge is walking around and you're doing your quartering, meaning moving around their head to give the judge the best view, if your horse takes a step and you don't see it, I've got a ding for it. If your horse takes a step and your attention, and out of your peripheral vision, you can see your horse. But if you're going to turn your head and look to make sure they've not moved, I'm good at that. Because you're showing me your horse, and if your horse moves. So, when you set up for inspection, don't forget about your horse. So you can see me out of your peripheral vision, right? You know where I'm going. So you have to divide your attention, a little bit on me, a little bit on your horse. Because some horses, the minute you get them set up and take your eyes off them, they take a step. Or they try to bite you. Or, yes. Yes. Absolutely fix it. The question was, if your horse takes a step, excuse me, do you want me to fix it? I say yes. You're showing me your horse. If your horse is standing apart and not squared up or however they're set up, you're not showing your horse to its highest potential. Plus it shows me that you're watching. Okay? So a couple of important things. Okay, here's what we're going to do just fast. I want you right from the line, trot straight at me, set up. I'm not going to inspect, and then I want you to trot straight back. So remember, when you're coming at me, I'm going to use an example right here, okay? When you're trotting at the judge, it's not you, you're lining up with the judge, it is your horse. And you have to be mindful of that, or you're going to go straight. Your person is going to go straight into, I guarantee it. So you have to mentally prepare to line your horse up with the judge, not you. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to trot at me. Actually, trot at me, stop, pivot around, and trot back. And we're looking at straight lines. Right now it's just a straight line exercise. Okay? The rest of it, we can practice another time, or we have other stuff to move on to. So,
or do you want them to wait till they're all done?
no. So when you're done, you've trotted at me, stop, turn, trot back, you're going to go over here to bridle up. Okay, I'm finally ready. So come on, so trot right at me. All right. Okay, now turn and trot back. That really wasn't bad, and your horse is giving you all kinds of grief. So if you don't have a lot of room, there you go. Very good. Straight line. So, okay, I'm going to give you more room. All right, right at me. Right out of the line. So if your horse is sleeping, anticipate that. There you go. Very nice. Very nice. So just go ahead and turn. I know that's not a draft thing. And then you see you can get a little bit of a straight line. It's okay, I understand. Very good. So this will give you practice on straight lines. And it sounds boring. It's kind of like figure eights. Boring, but necessary. Okay. You're a little off this way.
Do we have one? Right there.
But the line was pretty straight. So now turn, pick a spot on the wall, and go straight at it. There you go. Excellent straight line on the way back. Very nice. Okay. A little bit of a dive at the end there, but otherwise it's a straight line. There you go, nice pivot. Truck, truck, truck. Spot and go. Excellent, very good. Very nice straight line on the return there. Okay. All right, so turn. I know it's not a lot of room. See if you can get a straight line trot down to the wall. Pick a spot, go right at it. All right, very good. Let's just get back. Okay. Okay. All right. That was a good straight line, a little drift on the end. Don't let them drift when you reach the judge. Okay, there you go. Now take it smooth. Stop right away.
Check it both sides and I can hold it.
There you go. Good. Way to make a good thing out of what is kind of what's rough there in the middle. A nice straight line in the end. Good. Okay. What's lined up with me? Okay. At least you know, and I can tell halfway you're like, you know, okay. Now turn and do your best job at a straight line right back at the wall. If you want to go straight away from the judge, you want to see that horse travel straight away. There you go. Very, very good. Way to recover. Okay. All right. You ended up good. Okay, turn and trot back.
Spin around and come back to the big block.
All right. It's good practice. Pick a spot and go right at it. Okay. Okay. Now look where you are.
Right up. Right up.
Nice. Okay. All right, here we go. I'll walk along. So we want to change the message. Okay. So this is the okay, I don't know if you're going to be mine. Okay. All right. So be careful, because when you pull the natural tendency when you're wanting to try is to pull. Well, yes, because that's something that's necessary to recognize the side. So I don't even know if you can off. I don't think the tendency. And you say it might be something to practice with. Without doing is the taking from stop the so you don't come out to a horse that needs a change with personal change. Alright, and then always like to shot you get a shot out of your hand. Okay. And see if you can not try to avoid each of the change. Okay, it's going to take some practice. I think he's already anticipating the tightening of the chain. That's what I think. So thank you. Okay.
Probably about half an hour. See that ear? Keep your finger underneath. Now see that sticking up in the ear? Get the ear. Alright. Okay? Then go behind.
I need to put the chocolate over okay? I don't put the caffeine on.
Reminder. 14 reminders. Yes. Repeatedly. Hour and we can almost use this as a down strap around the saddle. And I have to start. Just not right now.
come into the middle and point your horse's head at me and make like a circle deal around so we can talk, okay? Sometimes I feel like those that are on the end of the line don't hear me, and I don't want to exclude anyone. I want each of you to think about this. Think about one main thing that you know you need to improve upon, or the thing that you would like help with. So now we're actually going to talk about, we're not talking about pleasure. We are talking about horsemanship classes. Classes that require, and it could even be like a pattern or trail, something like that requires that you have a complete command and control of your horse. So think about when you go into a class, and it's, let's say it's a pattern class. What are you the most worried about? What are you the most concerned about? And think about that if you address that, how would that help you be more confident about going into that class? Oh, so that comment was, this horse doesn't like to be out in the arena by himself, which is where you're at when you're doing a pattern class. And that's a tough practice. So here's what I've seen done is you might have to have a buddy or two, have them all be outside the arena, and then you go in a few steps and come back out. Go a little bit farther and come back out. I saw this for horses who don't like to leave the pack on the trail or to ride alone on the trail. So you're trying to let them know that they will eventually get back to the herd. It's just for this short time, they have to be alone and then come back to your friends. So come out a ways, back to your friends. Just try it. Come a little farther. If you have the luxury of a couple of people you're riding with, try that. Yeah. The other thing that you have to, which you can try, and I know that you probably do this, when they're thinking with that side of the brain, give them a job. So let's say he gets antsy. I would go out and trot a circle. Take a break from what you're trying to get him to do. Make them work. You got to engage the other side of their brain, the brain that puts their attention back on you. Oh, the mom's asking me to do this now. So instead of him being reactive to the circumstances, he has to focus on you. So it's hard though that you're switching them from one side of the brain to the other. When you give them a job, they're reactive on the trail, they're afraid of something, or in the arena. You try to switch them over by asking them something of them. You'll see that on trail videos a lot, where if the horse is jippy on the trail, give them a job. Make them serpentine. Do some circles, whatever it is to switch over their thinking and focus back on what you want. And it will take practice. It isn't going to happen today. And I wanted to mention this. So if you know anybody who goes to the gym, they don't go to the gym one day out of the year and they're fit, right? So all of these skills that you're working on are a work in progress. So don't be disappointed in yourself or your horse. Just keep trying to be this much better than yourself, nobody else, than the day before. Please don't fall into the trap of comparing yourself to someone else. Compare yourself to you. All you are trying to do is be better than you were the day before, and you will have setbacks. Okay, so we have a horse that doesn't like to be alone. So I just want you to be thinking about that. And here's what I want to do. because we have limited time, I want you to get on the rail, and so we're going to start with basic posture in the saddle. Because everybody's at a different place in their horsemanship, right? And I want to be as helpful as I can. If you have a specific question, I'm all ears today. So we'll just get on the rail and I can tell you what I see. Here's all I ask of you. Be teachable. Okay, remember, and I'm going to tell you this is a really bad example. When I was showing, I thought to myself, I'm not going to change how I ride for one judge. Well, wait a minute, that judge runs more than I do. So, try to be teachable. Okay? Correct. So just know this. Anything I say to you, I am trying to help you be better. You can process it however you want. I know you have an outstanding coach in Jen. And I will just maybe give you a different perspective and say it in some different words is all. She and I came from the same school, basically. Yes? All right, really good question. When you ride Western, where do I want your offhand? Okay? So that can be a very subjective thing. I want you to look comfortable. And sometimes you'll see it, so here, your right hand, sometimes you'll see them just holding their other hand out even like that. The advantage to that is it keeps your shoulders square. As long as you look natural and comfortable and consistent and don't change, it's kind of up to you. Each judge will have their own take on it. I've seen this too, where because you don't have to think about it, right? But the tendency will hit you when you start to roll that you use it. So you can try a couple different things and see how comfortable you feel. If you feel comfortable like this, with just a natural bend in your elbow on the your off hand, try it. If you don't like it, try something else. And then eventually pick one and stick with it. But as long as your shoulders stay square and move natural and comfortable, that's what I'm all about. Oh. Why? Yes. Good comment. Yes. As long as your elbows stay at the same degree of bend. And you can stay natural. I don't want you to be stiff. Stay natural and relaxed, okay? Awesome. Very nice. You all seem to have very good basics in the saddle. Okay? I like it. Okay, yes. Okay, the question was this. When you're loping, should you move your arm with the motion of the lope? Well, here's my comment to that. I want to see all of your hands and legs remain quiet. However, whatever that means to you, and you know what, you may have to practice it with someone watching you, but if you are relaxed, if you're stiff, it's going to bounce. I would stay fluid and relaxed, and just think about just to be relaxed. Try not to in your hand, and try not to get stiff. So that looks good. Okay, anybody else? Okay, let's have your fault. I want you to reverse and walk on. I want to see the other side. Now this is really basic and a basic start. So again, if you have questions about that, did I reverse okay? Was that the right spot? Should I be on the rail? Where should my hands be? Anything. Yeah, but so a little much. It's a little overthink. Unless I ask for a turn on the forehand or a reverse on the forehand. I ask for that. Okay, let's see if everybody can find a spot on the rail quick. I want to talk about and execute backing up. It's basic, but boy, it's so important. So let's see if we can hit. There's a lot of room over here. Anybody needs a spot? So you know, often in a pattern, you are asked to back. And sometimes in a pleasure class, and I know you guys don't do a whole lot of that, but when you're lined up and the judge comes around and asks you to back. If I have two horses I like equally much, the one who can back like a rock star is going to get the place. And by that, I mean very little cue. So it should look like your horse is almost backing on his own. I know that's a bit of a exaggeration, but you should practice enough, and I'm going to give you my pointer for backing, because it allows you to wake your horse up before you ask it. And that is, before you ask your horse to back, put your legs on your horse. Or, if your legs are already on your horse, squeeze him ever so slightly to make him think, something's coming. And that is going to vary on your horse. If your horse tends to go to sleep, you'll need to put your legs on with some purpose. So fix your hands, put your legs on your horse. This is going to take some practice. Fix your hand, put your legs on your horse, and you can do it but I like your hand to be fixed so that when you put your legs on your horse, they don't go forward. And then, rather than using your hand, squeeze with your legs and see what happens. So you fix your hand so that your horse can't go forward. Don't use your reins and squeeze with your legs, see what happens. And if you, so fix, again, it's going to take practice. And the reason I advocate for this method is because I see too many riders haul back on that horse's mouth, which is the very last thing a judge wants to see. Anybody can do that. Not just anybody will back with some finesse and some class. And when I see that, it's like it makes a judge's day. Because it means you work with it and your horse is, you get your horse to thinking. When you put your legs on them, they think, Okay, so let's try it again. Fix your hand in a spot where your horse cannot go forward without pulling on them. Put your legs on them. Then squeeze your legs. Squeeze. Okay? There you go. So that is how I like to see a back, especially in a horsemanship like in a pattern. Because anybody can grab onto your horse's face and back them up. When I see you use your legs are really your greatest aid. Your hands are just there to stop forward motion. You can steer with your legs as well, right? Am I right? Okay. I want now to know, all right, so let's try, we're going to try a trot jog, okay? Let's have you go forward at the walk, please. First, the walk first. And what I want to see are smooth transitions as well. So we're going to do, let's see, we got 1, 2, so. We're going to try it out. So we're going to try a trot or jog, being mindful of the crowdedness in here, okay? Riders at the jog or trot, please. And please have arena etiquette. All right, and walk, please. So I don't know if you know you're on the wrong diagonal. Try, just keep that in mind. I am seeing some really good basics in the saddle. Really nice. I like it to be soft, relaxed, and your head up like you're enjoying yourself. And you know what? You should. You get to ride a horse today. I mean, it's like the best place to be in the world. Okay, let's have you halt. I want you to try the back again. Go ahead, back 5 steps. Okay, music. Okay, anybody, how are we doing, Jen? Okay, very good. Right, yep, okay. Okay, real good. So I had you each think about something that you know or suspect you might need to work on. Might that include pattern work? Yes? And because here we have an hour left for this group. I want to make it the most valuable hour that we possibly can. So, how about this? Can you be thinking about that? And I'm just going to go around and make a few comments. Okay? Be thinking about how you want to use this hour to your advantage, because I'm here for you. So whatever you need, okay? Really? Okay. I'm thinking that yours might lengthen one beyond, but just stay like this now. Think about that if it does feel too short. And when you trot, this might be kind of hard, I don't advocate looking down when you're trotting. However, and this is in general, for you to know your foot's in the right spot, when you look down over your knee, you should see your toe. So try not to, don't move your, look right from where you should, when you look over your knee, because this will be, you should just see your toe. It shouldn't be to the outside, the inside. When you look over your knee, you should just see your toe. And if you see too much of your foot, you need to bring your feet, gather your feet back up under you a little bit. And that's my only comment here is when you're trotting, let your feet drift forward. Because then you're not engaging at the posting trot. You're kind of just sitting back down where it should feel. a rise from here, and not from down here. So try to make sure that your feet stay underneath you. So remember, when you look over your knee from where you're sitting, you should just see your toe. Also, I do like to see a heel lower than the toe. That might be old school, but there's a reason. So, okay, we are going to do a little more trotting. Anybody else, something that you need to work on, something you have a question about? So I like, okay, well, I'm sorry, okay, was it about the canner? Oh, you bet. Okay, yep, we'll switch it up here in a minute. So, I'm just going to go around and check. I often see chin straps that are way, way, way too tight. I'm not saying I see that here. But I think it's okay. Because if it's too tight, your horse has nowhere to go.
When you're in the arena and you're watching people go by, are you eyeballing through that?
Yes. Yes. We are. Yep. And again, like I said, I often see. So the question was, when I'm watching the riders go around, am I looking for illegal equipment? Absolutely. But after I do a quick once over, typically you'll catch it right away. So that will require, again, more. So the question was this: how do you maintain light contact on a horse that tends to be chargy? I guess it's a little chargy. So because you need a lot of room to work, again, that's something where you will need to ask something of him when he decides he knows better than you do to go forward. I would try get him off of that circle. I would circle, come back to the rail. If he's still doing it, circle around so you can make him work. And so try to be mindfully as light as you possibly can with your hands, because the harder you get, the more you need that. So again, your hands are more of a stopping of forward motion, and the more subtle you can be with pulling him from going forward. If he's charging on you can do some circles, because he can't charge a circle like you can a straightaway, and that will just take time and more time and more time. So keep up the good work. Don't give up. Remember, you can only make a little progress a day. So, does it? Okay. Feel free to do whatever you can do. You know, the stirrups. I mean, because I don't want you to go home and be more sore than it started out. Okay. Good. Okay. So, hey, hello. I think I know that. So you're tall. I would lengthen your stirrups a little bit. You might feel a little more comfortable. Try one notch. You have good leg position, but I think it would be easier if you lengthen stirrups a little bit. So, otherwise, good. Oh, gotcha. They won't be to where she'd be reaching for them. So, okay. And again, your knowledge of all these kids overrides my. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yes. Well, that's according to if your horse is under a certain age and you're riding in a snaffle bit. That's the only time you can ride two-handed, unless you're in ranch or ranches. So, I think to answer your question, you cannot change hands in a class. So, and if you have a shanked bit, you can't ride with two hands unless you're in a ranch class. So, you need to stay with one hand. If you're riding in one hand, stay with that hand in the class. You can switch the hand in the next class, ride with left or right. It's whatever you're comfortable with. You just can't switch, nor can you can't so you're riding with one hand and you need to get your horse around. You can't reach down, grab that rein. You just can't do that. So, yes. Depends on if you're set up to do that. Because if your horse is of a certain age and you're in a shanked bit, you can't ride with two hands. And so I think it might be 6 now with two hands and a snaffle bit. And typically, you don't switch. And I get what you're saying. So like for maybe schooling, here's another thing. If you decide, if your horse is naughty, we'll just use that word. And you decide you're going to use the class at school, you can go to two hands. But you are out of the running. And if you have a shanked bit, you cannot ride with two hands. And you can't switch hands in the class either. Okay? All right, good questions. Great stuff. That's stuff everybody needs to know. Okay, okay, anybody else? Something you need help with or want help with? Or don't understand? Or, I know these are basics, but no one can ever hurt, it never hurts you to go back to basics and talk about them. So where was the young lady with who was asking me about the shoulder? Were you the shoulder question, or who was asking me about, not shoulder, that's the offhand. So, how does that feel? Awkward? Okay. So as long as you can maintain it and you feel comfortable and you are relaxed. I don't like stiff. I'll be honest. A lot of some of the higher level competitions are so stiff I just don't care for them. But that's just me. Okay? Sure. Yeah, let's do it. So, okay. Yes. So the request was to create a pattern and have everybody run it and figure out where your weaknesses are and where your strengths are. And we can also talk about running them, because today, don't you feel like patterns are everywhere? Literally. I don't know. I kind of like getting all the horses in the ring and looking at them together, but I need to get that in pleasure. But okay. Any specific asks from you all about an element in a pattern? We're just going to make one up. We're going to make one up and have everybody run it, but I'd like you to have some input if you feel the need. Circle. Okay. We can do that. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's, oh wow, look at this. Go ahead. Okay. So, okay, is it? Yes? Okay. Yep, okay. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we had, remind me what you said. A turn on the haunches, or a pivot, as it were. Canter departures, awesome. And then trotting over poles. So do we have a pole we can pull out and we'll put it at one of the cones? I want to give as much room as possible, and then we'll get everybody. I'm sorry? A book of torture? We got a book of torture. Oh, okay. Nice. Okay. All right.
Torch wise. Alright, circle with it.
No way, you are not. You're perfect. Okay. How about, here with the pole? We're just gonna do one. I don't want us to have to think too hard about it. So I'm thinking down here. So let's have you be tail to the rail on this turn, because I don't think you'll be in the way. So starting right here, tail to the rail. We'll be out of the way. Where's the crank today?
It's secure, but I mean, it's not that big.
It's okay. What's the matter? So just be careful you don't get a quick cow kick out of it. All right, so, wait, what?
I just told her to go down there, she has to go first.
Oh dear.
She's been elected.
Senior cabinet officer is.
Oh, okay. All right, so just let me just think here.
With her horse, yeah. She's got the most pattern on the horse.
Okay. So, so, oh, well, start thinking hard. Hey, the rings? All right, okay, I just want to tell you something real quick. So a long time ago, patterns were done what you might call on the fly. So you'd be in a class, you'd do your rail work, and the judge would say, okay, now you're going to do right lead, out to the cone, stop, turn. So you didn't have a visual. It was dictated to you in the class, and you had to think on your feet and remember what they told you, and then do the pattern. And frankly, I think there's something to be said for that. Because you get patterns early in the day, you can practice them all day long. What the heck good is that? I really love the old way of having you do some rail work, and then the judge comes up with a pattern. I mean, someday maybe we'll go back to that, because things are the pattern thing is out of control.
Think on your feet.
Personal opinion. So here's
Think on your butt.
that, and have your horse think on his feet, and you think on your butt. Okay, so here's the plan, and this kind of encompasses lots of elements in one pattern. All right. So you're going to start here, on the left side of the cone. Okay. You are going to trot over that cone, and then you're going to pick up the canter or lobe, a right circle, and I'm going to have these three come up here so we can do for the circle. Yes. You can try. If you're a walk trotter, this will all be trot. If you'd like to try a canter, now is probably a really good time to do it. But it's up to you. Whatever is safest, okay? So you're trotting. Once you are over this ground pole, you will pick up the right lead in a circle. I'm going to say you make it the size you're comfortable with so that you can come back over this pole at the low, up here, stop. Left pivot on the haunches. From right here, canter or low. From here, over the pole in a circle, up to the cone, stop, back 5 steps. Questions? I'll tell you again, okay? No, I'm not. You gotta remember. Okay, from here, you're going to trot or jog over the pole. After the pole, you're going to start your circle and you're going to pick up the canter or low. Continue back over the pole to the third cone, stop. Left turn on left, 180 on the haunches. From right there, canter or low, another circle over this cone, back over the cone, stop and back. So my goal is not to freak you out about the pattern, so if you get hung up halfway through, we'll help you. But I want you to at least try to remember all the elements on your own. It's kind of a good flowing natural pattern. It's not a crazy one. So, all right, the first half is a trot, then canter or low. The second half, after you turn, is all canter or low. So we've got good elements, right? We've got canter departure from the trot, that's good. And a canter departure from standing still, which is a really high degree of difficulty. Yes. Yes. You go over the pole the first time at the trot or jog so that you're comfortable making that transition after the ground pole. Yes. Oh, if you're a walk trotter, if you are a walk trotter, the circle will be extended, an extended trot, and then on the way back, it will all be extended trot. So it's your call if you're going to be a walk trotter or a walk trot canter. But this is a good, controlled environment to try a canter or a walk only if you want to. It's strictly up to you. We're trying to help you with pattern elements. And I will say this about patterns. This includes showmanship. A big element of showmanship that's not talked a whole lot about is flow. The elements should flow smoothly from one to the other, seamlessly. And you have to think about that in order to make it happen. And I know that sounds kind of like a theory, but I'll tell you what, if you watch some of the top showmanship people, the elements flow like water, one from one to the other. It's just beautiful. Okay, how are we doing? Okay. And again, so this is a pretty interesting pattern. It's got a lot of stuff in it, and do your best. But I don't want anybody to stress about it. Do your best, and then these are things that you can fine to work on. Okay? Okay? So I'm just going for, okay? There you go. Okay, very nice, thank you. So let's have you go over to the end of the line and then we'll run them that way. So did you notice how on the end, it looks to me like the horse is giving her trees not wanting to turn to the left? And she maintained her composure so you don't lose your cool mentally. It'll help your horse keep his or her cool. Okay, so let's go and do the best you can do. Just to make this trot instead of canter, whatever's best. Go. Awesome. Keep on trying. Thanks, very well. Nice. Way to make it happen. Very nice. Very nice. And before you stick with it down there, if you really didn't want to cooperate, and that's, again, if your horse is giving you grief, you have to fight to maintain your composure and make it look like everything's cool. Okay? Ready? There you go, there you go. There you go, nice and easy. Good. Okay. Did you forget something? There's one more circle here. Okay. But hey, this is the place to forget, right? So, but the rest is good. My only comment to you is, I like how you finished up, and they all had a pebble down there, and you stuck with it. Don't give up. Just keep your cool, and try to maintain. So your posture in the saddle should not change walk, trot, canter, which would be basically the same. Try to mentally think about, wait, where are my feet? So I know you're training feet horse and all that, but it's practice to make your posture be the same all the time. You'll eventually do what they call muscle memory. You won't have to even think about it. So keep up the good work.
Nice job, Madison.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. try to get them to stop and compare. Nice. Okay, really set yourself up good. Now get a nice straight look. And go when you're ready. Okay. There you go. Why don't you just go ahead and let them start the first part. Over the pole. See if you can do it over the pole. There you go. Oh, almost. We'll do it next time. We'll do it next time. Try it in the trot maybe. There you go. That's it, that's it. Okay, go on with it. Go. Nice. Very nice. Alright, that was a very nice back. And with regard to the other stuff, it's looking at her eyes before you're going. Hopefully, find a spot there and go there. And you'll telegraph that to the person. Practice. Very nice to stick with it. I like how you keep trying. Now, okay, circles are boring, but they are necessary. And if you ever have to do a figure 8 in a class, the judge is looking for both sides of the figure 8 to be evenly sized. So you don't go up and do one little tiny one and then a big one. Okay, circles and figure 8s are very important anytime you're ready. I know it's hard to hear. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. I like the flow. You have very good flow. And you know what else I noticed? What she did when she was over here in the middle of her first circle, she's looking. She's looking at the ground pole. Because that's where she wants to go, is over that ground pole. So she's already here. She's looking. That's where I'm going. So where your eyes go, look is where you will go. Okay. Nice and easy. There you go. Try more leg. There you go. See? Awesome. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, yeah, I do want to talk about reins quick. It's easy to forget checking if your reins are the same length because it's just not a habit. So check, look down. If you got one longer than the other one, get them even. And here's another thing that will help you in a horsemanship class. Okay, when you're riding Western, it's fancy to have a loopy, drapey rein. For me, not in a horsemanship class. In fact, I like, now again, this is not high-level circuit horsemanship where it's ridiculous. I'm sorry. Here's the rein down here. And they're running a horsemanship class, okay? For you to be safe and effective, I want you to have light contact all the time, especially in horsemanship. Now again, that's just me, one judge, one opinion, but I think it has merit. It is common sense, it's safe. If you can do it on a loopy rein, that's fine, good for you. But I'm guessing at this point, it's better for you to have light contact at all times. In fact, I'm just going to tell you this real quick. And parents, Milwaukee Police Department just had a mounted training, which is where I come from, mounted police, for 2 weeks of an instructor training, and they flew a guy in from Canada to do the training. And so they rode and taught these people in 2 weeks basic dressage riding. And to some of those horses, because it's constant light contact, that's a dressage rider. So I understand the differences in the Western, but for right now, our purposes, I like light contact because it sets you up to succeed. Rather than having to quick grab up your reins, I got too much rein on. So start out, when you're in a horsemanship class like this, start out so that you are already just about on your horse's mouth. Okay? So those are classic, basic rider principles. They're not just me imposing them on you. It helps you succeed by having your reins the same length and light contact when you can start. Because you can, so Western riders, so you can have light contact here, and you can move your hand ever so slightly forward if you want to give your horse more movement, more head motion. Okay, enough talking. Next, go right ahead. So think forward, look forward, think forward. There you go. Okay. Very nice. I don't need to comment with everybody. Try not to grab the saddle. Okay, and okay, for everybody, when you do this ground pull, your horse is thinking it's a good opportunity for them to break down to a trot or forward. So be mindful of that, have your legs on your horse, and keep them going over that ground pull. Okay? So it's like you get in over here. Thank you. Very nice. I'm sorry? guys, go right ahead. Whatever is best for you. See how they like to break down over that hole? Okay. Nice. I like the flow. It was very controlled. But you notice the break over the pole is just that mentally they think, oh, it's just, and I can slow down here. So you've got to anticipate this. Okay. Careful here. There we go. All right. Nice. There we go. All right. Nice job. Thank you. Very good. Okay. Let's wait till she's done. Let's just have them down here. Okay. There we go. Very nice. There you go. Very nice. Nice flow. We went from nicely from one element to the other. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Anybody else? We've had a request to try a canter or lope on the rail, and we probably I would like to split this up. We might have to cut the ring down a little bit rather than have the exit. So anybody else interested in that? Or and then okay. So okay, sure. Yep. You're not going to canter? Okay. So we are going to put you five in the middle while we'll let the others try their canter around you. So enough room so nobody gets bad. Okay, so for those of you on the rail, this will be a basic exercise in your canter or low transition from a walk. So we might do it a couple times. And so you're going to give your horse a little anticipation with your legs. Most times it's good to give them a warning that it's coming. Just to put your legs on them slightly, just slightly, so that it kind of engages their brain that something is coming. So maybe not so at higher levels of competition where, just not for now, we're going to go easy at the canter or low for a minute here. If you ever end up having trouble, you can just come into the middle. If you have any kind of trouble, slow down and come into the middle. So make yourself plenty of room. Be thinking about the transition because your body will telegraph that to your horse. Okay, riders, at the low work canter, please. Low work canter. Okay. And let's walk. Riders, walk, please. And so think ahead about your transitions. And try to think smooth. Nice and smooth. We're going to take a break. Oh. Oh, sure. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's have you reverse on the rail, please. Reverse on the rail. Okay, nice and easy riders on the rail at the low for canter, please. Low for canter. Try to maintain a nice speed. Okay, nice and smooth. Okay. There you go. Don't leave that. Don't leave that. All right, riders, walk, please. Walk. Just think about being centered over your feet and not sitting so much on your rump. Don't try not to leave that. I know you're trying to just go with your horse. Try to think to sit up straight and not leave that. How does that feel for everybody? Better? You want to go again? Yeah. Wait. Did you have a question? Okay. Ready to add it? You want to add to the group? Okay, okay. Let's go ahead and switch groups. We have this group in the middle. We want to get time. Okay, so let's have whoever wants to canter to go to the rail. I'm sorry, this group come in and off the middle group go out to the rail. So be careful in traffic. There you go. Let's see what the majority of them. So we're going to go to the right, just like we're going. We're going to go on the rail to the right. He's got a lead. Yeah. That might be why he's cranky. I would hurt too. Hurts. Let's go ahead and walk. Riders, at the walk, please. I want you to get comfortable on the rail and then we'll try it. Be mindful, riders on the rail, that we have a wide variety of sizes in here. So you'll have to be extra aware of just be mindful of who's in the ring. And err on the side of safety if you need to stop or come into the middle. Okay, riders? Let's go ahead and transition to the low floor canter, please. Low floor canter. Nice and easy. And riders walk. Very nice. We're working on transitioning, and so that's why we don't go long distances. But that was nice. Okay, well, rest for 1 second here, and then we're going to try it again, okay? I like those transitions. Riders on the rail, at the lower canter, please, lower canter. You will. There it is. Okay, awesome. Just wanting to go back to the herd. You want to go back to the herd. All right, riders, walk, please. Walk. You did make it happen. Riders, let's reverse on the rail, please. Reverse. And get your spot on the rail. We're going to do one more time in this direction. Oh, really? Okay. Cool. Okay, let's have you walk and kind of settle a little bit, okay? Walk and settle. And while we're walking, I want to mention about ring etiquette. So you are basically responsible for not impeding the travel of anyone else in the ring. So if your horse is faster, or whatever your case may be, just because you're trying to get position on the rail doesn't mean you can cut someone off. Or come up behind them and run into the rump of their horse. It's actually a lot like driving a car. Driving a car is a privilege. It is not a right. And in order for things to stay orderly on the roads, everyone has to drive with regard to everyone else. Just like it is in the arena. Okay? Are you done? Okay. It's fine. That is it. That's get on with. Perfectly fine. Oh. Riders on the rail, we're going to try one more time. Riders local canter, please, or we all have locals. Riders local. Nice. That was good. Okay, and walk. Riders walk. transitions are nothing but a matter of practice. And try to put it in your head before you ask it of your horse. Because you will telegraph that to your horse. And that takes time, but they read you. They read you way better than we give them credit for. So does anybody have comments, questions, other things that you have wanted? Yes. Yes. Uh-huh. Stressful. So the question was about how to deal with stress in a competition and how to help yourself mitigate or kind of level out that stress. So here's what I can tell you from my one-person, simple perspective. It's all in your head. It is all in your head. So I try to think about having fun, how much I enjoy spending time with my horse, how it really isn't important if you win or lose, that you're just there to have fun. And then I'm honest, deep breathing is huge. Take a big deep breath in, I forget if the count is 5, and then I'll hold it for 3 and out at 3. Just deep breathing is really good for you. And just know that you're not launching the space shuttle. Okay. Yes, so the question was picking up a canter from a walk. So that is something that takes time because it's you communicating to your horse what you want. So over time, you can have those trot gaits and you just will. So think about what you want to give your horse every time to take the left lead or the right lead. And then practice it over and over, and the more closer he gets to going right into the canter, then you stop working. Stop working. Give him a break. Again, the question was about transitioning from a canter down to a walk. It's also a mental game. You got to think. And so when I'm working with my horse, and this is just I use a real low lead. And eventually, real low lead. That's what I use. If I was competing, I wouldn't use it, but it can help you to transition, to teach them to roll. And then mentally, bring down your body energy. Body energy is really important. So when you're coming down from a canter or just anything down to a walk, if you put it in your head that you are down transitioning, it will telegraph to your horse. Did you have a question? Somebody over here I thought was raising their hand. Oh. Time. It is. And you can't expect to assimilate into a class of regular saddle horses. So don't expect something that can't happen. But look for little victories in you. So for everybody, don't try to win the World Cup in one day, because you won't. So consider each little victory your good day. And then have, this may sound silly, have gratitude that you've made progress. What you hold in your heart comes out. And your horse is gonna feel that. And when you have gratitude, give it. Give gratitude. Thank you for this day. Thank you for the ride. It was awesome. I wanted to mention one thing about horses. Just quick. Aren't they awesome? Here they are, doing what none of them would choose to do. None of them. They'd be out eating grass. Okay, speaking of, both of mine got into the grass this morning. I had to race out there and get them out. Like, what? None of them would choose to be here. And yet, here they are. Most of them, I mean, they're being fine. You're not riding a bucking bronco, or I have learned to personally be grateful for a day with my horse. And when you get little victories, celebrate them. And go the next day and think, we can do this. Somebody earlier asked about how do you go into a showmanship class and not be stressed out. So think about coming into that class like, I got this. I can do this. Say it out loud to your horse. We can do this. Because it reaffirms to you that you can, because you can. Know it. Own it. You can do this. You may not go to, like I said, win the World Cup in a day, but you're going to make those little progress victories, and they're all going to add up to this much someday. So, I love this. Thank you for being here. And again, if you're still here and you think of something, I'll be here. Okay? Thank you, John. You're welcome. Everybody did awesome today. You all had little battles, and you did great.
The ones that are going back in the class this afternoon will put a piece on it.
In the shows that you probably will be in, you shouldn't. Their age can be funny that way. They like to, the rules actually say the rider should see the horse or race horse. So, me personally, unless you were a whole foot taller, I wouldn't say anything about it. But that's me. If you are and you're handling your home well and you're sitting well and you're not in, that wouldn't even be a consideration for me. So, don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. Just worry about being this much better the next time you go out. Okay? Awesome. Nice job. Okay. Something. God, celebrate it. You bet. It's hard when you're younger, you don't think about these things this way. And I'm just now learning how to be grateful. People will never get that opportunity. So you have something else. You're welcome. Okay. First question, is you think
Well, like, you should be getting your horse ready now. So just unpack them, get them out. I'll help you.
so if he came, because he has too much energy, and so you need to check all those things with Jen first, well, how much drink,
Leave the drinks some of them.
Don't be such a putz. Don't get a putz. Get out of my space. Don't